So we'll get started over here. Now bear with me as we're going to go through this Parashat Bechukotai. Now Parashat Bechukotai, really normally on every other year, it's written together with Behar. Last week's Parashat is Parashat, and the concepts really intertwine. Like last week we spoke about Behar as the idea of Torah and accepting upon himself like Emunah, Bitachon, and we said Shemitah here was all about Emunah, Bitachon. Har Sinai is connected to the land, that's what we spoke about last week. Bechukotai is also a very similar concept of faith and Emunah and Bitachon, and because I didn't want to give you guys the same shiur twice, so I said, okay, we're going to dig a little bit deeper into another topic, so just bear with me, we'll go through the details, and in the end, I think everything will make sense. So this is the last parasha in the third book of the Torah, Vayikra. So right now, we're going to finish this sefer. And it starts, V'im bechukotai tilechu, v'etitotai tishmaru, tishmaru v'asitem otam, v'natati gashemechem, be'itam, v'natata haaretz yevula, v'al hasadeh yiten peryo. Very simple, it starts, and if you go on my statutes and observe my commandments, and perform them, then I will provide you rain in their time, and it goes on to list many different brachot, 22 to be exact. We'll talk about it in a minute. The Gemara and the Maral bring down all 22 brachot a person gets. The Rosh Baruch Hu says, if you go in my ways, if you observe my commandments, you observe my mitzvot, I'll give you all of these blessings. And they list them, and we're going to go into them a little bit detail. We're not going to go through every single one of them, but we're going to go through a little bit detail. Just a few of them, we'll touch on them later on. But if you're looking at this pasuk, something should stand out to you right away. So I'll read it again. And if you go in my statutes and observe my commandments and perform them, then I will provide you rain, so on and so forth. So if you do these two things, so im bechukotai tilechu, ve'et mitzvotai tishmeru, ve'asitem otam. So again, anyone who's looking over here is going to ask themselves, why the double language? Rashi right away, the famous commentary, comes up and asks this exact question. I don't understand. When Hashem tells you, im ve'et mitzvotai tishmeru, and you should keep my commandments to do them, it's enough, no? It would have been enough. So why do we need ve'ed chukotai tilechu? And if you go on my statutes, why do we need the double language? So Rashi right away jumps on this and says, I don't understand. Why do I need both? If you were telling me I have to keep your commandments and observe them, it would have been enough. I would understand what you're trying to tell me. So what is this? And if you will watch my statutes. Says Rashi beautifully, and he's quoting the Sifra and Torah Kohanim, the Midrash of Torah Kohanim. What does it say over there? It says, if you look in the Lashon, it says tilechu. What does the word tilechu mean? To go. So it says very simply, what does it mean to go? It alludes that a person actually is physically going somewhere. What do I mean physically going somewhere? If you're going to do my mitzvot and to observe them and to keep them, you don't have to go anywhere. All you have to do is keep them. But if you're going to go somewhere, it makes it sound like you're going from place to place. So say the Torah Kohanim, what does it mean to teach you? What is it telling you to go? It says, what's something a person can do in this world that as he does it, he actually is moving from place to place. He doesn't have to physically move, but he's spiritually moving from place to place. It says Torah Kohanim, therefore, et chukotai tilechu is talking about what? The Torah. Because when a person learns Torah, he's spiritually elevating himself level and level and level and level and level and going and going and going. And that's why we see that a person can move. Even though he's standing in one place, sitting in one place, he can physically grow. For example, every person who's sitting over here tonight, you're hearing words of Torah. Every word of Torah, every sentence, every letter, you're growing spiritually. You're reaching a higher level. If you think to yourself that you leaving here tonight and going home and going to sleep, you're the same person as you were before you walked in, sadly mistaken. It has a direct influence on your neshama, on your soul, on your ruchniut, on your spirituality. For example, you'll find that a person who, and this is by the way, we see this is a concept that goes around the Torah, a person who keeps kosher, a person who sanctifies himself, he has an easier time understanding the concepts that are told to him. For example, there's certain people in the world that you speak to them, and right away, as soon as you're talking to Torah, anything you're talking about Torah, this, that, they don't want to hear nothing. They don't want to hear nothing. Good? Leave me alone. I don't want to hear these things. I didn't grow up this way. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Completely shut off. And no matter what you tell him, he'll tell you right now, it's nighttime, you take him outside, you show him the sun. I was at nighttime. I don't care. Don't talk to me. I don't want to hear anything. No matter how much you can prove him, no matter how many facts you give it to him, he doesn't want to hear nothing. Why? Because his neshama has klipot, has spiritual husks on it that don't allow the person to accept the word you're saying. To be able to accept the words of Hashem is a schut, is a merit. For you to listen to Divrei Torah, to hear the words of Torah, and to have enjoyment from them, and to understand them, that means you're already on a very high level. That means you're already on a very high level. To be on that point, that means you already sanctified yourself. We're going to see later on that Rashi in Kedoshim to you, we spoke about in the past, Parashat Kedoshim, that God tells the Jewish nation you should be holy. Rashi makes it sound like you don't have to make yourself holy. You already are holy. All you have to do is keep it. You're already holy. You were born, you came out to this world, you're a Jew, you're already holy. All you have to do now is keep it. We're going to talk about it a little bit later. But we see a person come out to this world, he's naturally, what's his basis? Ta'or. And then Farshim explain, what does Chazal teach us? That a baby, when he comes out to this world, all the Torah he knows. When the baby's in the stomach, they teach him all the Torah. And then comes a malach and hits him over here. That's why you have the little thing over here, and he loses all the Torah that he learned. This we know, it's famous. So before you come out to this world, you're already kadosh. You came out of the rechem, you came out of the womb, you're already holy. All you got to do is keep it. However, what makes a person run away from the holiness that he has? What makes him run away from these things? What makes it hard for him to hear the word of Torah, to get closer to Hashem? When he makes himself impure. How does he do that? By committing sins, by steering away from God, by not hearing Torah, by going away from Shiurim, not getting involved with Shiurim. I personally had a guy that I was every week coming to the Shiurim, and you just saw the guy flourish and flourish and flourish and flourish and going up and up and up. And then all of a sudden, 8 months, we don't hear from the guy. He doesn't come to the Shiurim anymore. Every week it's another excuse. You know how it starts. The first week, listen, Rabbi, I can't make it this week. I'm tired. I'm this, I'm that. And a long day at work. That's how it starts the first week. Good? That's how it always works with a person. He creeps with him slowly. Doesn't come with the big, don't go to the Shiur anymore. No, chas v'shalom. First things first, it hits you with a wedding or an engagement. Yeah? No, Rabbi, I have an engagement tonight. Rabbi, I have an engagement tonight. You know how many engagements I have with the Shiurim? By the way, you should know, statistically proven. Every Tuesday and Thursday, there's guaranteed to be a wedding. As the days I give Shiurim. So I get an invitation to a wedding. What day? Tuesday. What day? Thursday. I tell them, why do you guys do Tuesday, Thursday? And you know I can't come. Right? No, I make it work. Don't worry, I make it work. Usually the chuppah is 7, you go to the chuppah first, then you come over here, you make it work. But if it matters to you, and you prioritize it, you can make it work. I go to the chuppah, 8:30, come give a shiur, and if it's a close friend, I go back after. It's very possible. No, Rabbi, God forbid, I'm going to miss the smorgasbord. God forbid, over there, Rabbi, you're going to have finger foods. No, Rabbi, I'm going to miss the Chatan's first walkout. Okay, if it's a wedding, I'm here. Over there, it's mutar. What about an engagement party? Oh, I love when they call me, Rabbi, I have an engagement party tonight. Legabei Torah, engagement party has no status. When is a woman come and engage to you? Underneath the chuppah, when did she come betrothed to you? When you tell her, when you give her the ring and say, that's when she comes engaged to you. Up until this point, although you got down on one knee, and you do the flowers and the candles, it's not worth anything. Yeah? Until you tell her, she's not engaged to you. So the guy tells you, oh, I'm going to an engagement party. What's an engagement party? Who started this engagement party? Look, I didn't check the Mekor, but if you ask me, I think it's Maseh Goyim. It's probably the nations of the world who started it. So, okay, Mele, Samech Hatan V'Kala, you want to go for a wedding. Huh? We do the same day. We do it underneath. First, we do the Hayat Mekudeshet Li, and then Ve'im Shechei Yerushalayim, Sheva B'chol. We do the whole inyan in one night. We do everything. Why? A woman, technically, Al Pi Torah, she can be Mekudeshet, and then she has up until a year until you're going to marry her. We see many things in the Torah. But how do you Mekadesh a woman? You tell her, Harei Mekudeshet Li. Misaki Kiddushin. There's 3 ways a woman is acquired. Either through money, through documentation, or through biyah. So there's 3 ways, but it has to be that both people understand. Harei Mekudeshet Li is at least some type of a verbal. Okay, b'diavad, whatever, b'diavad. I'm not handling now halakha, yeah? We're handling now, at the end of the day, a person is missing what? For an engagement party. And I'm not coming to talk about if it's split, not split, that's a whole different conversation, yeah? So, what starts with? Rabbi, have an engagement.
Mechitza.
Huh?
Split, you mean mechitza?
Yeah. Mechitza. So now, Rabbi, have an engagement party. Okay, now he goes to the engagement party. Good, that's 1 week. Second week, oh, Rabbi, a long day at work. Oh, Rabbi, the Celtics are playing. Or Rabbi, it's the playoffs. Or Rabbi, it's the NHL. Or Rabbi, it's this. Or right. There's always going to be something, okay? Just today I was talking to a person I'm going to get to a little bit later. He was telling me how he wants to lose weight. I'm going to get into more details a little bit later. So I want to lose weight. I tell him, go on a diet. He says, I can't eat in a diet. What, am I going to be like a sheep? I say, yeah, you're going to eat some greens. Yeah, but there's so many tolaim. I'm going to check it. I'm going to have to check it for greens. It's better I eat the hamburger and that's it. I have to check it for no bugs or nothing. I tell him, 2 seconds, you take a piece of lettuce, you wash it in the... What's the big deal? I do it all the time. What's the big deal? No. The person doesn't want to eat, and doesn't want to eat. When the store is closed. I don't want to hear the store is open. I don't want to hear nothing. This is how in my head, I have it set up. This is it. So how does it start? It comes to you slowly. It doesn't come to you with big shots. It comes to you slowly. First it's this, then it's this, until you get it falling out. In 8 months, this guy left. I don't want to tell you what he called me back with 8 months later. I don't want to even mention. I was a balagani, I had to fix and this and that and work and I got lost. What do you think? This is your foundation. This is what keeps you grounded. Every Thursday night, every Tuesday night when you come to the show, what do you think? This is keeping you on the ground. A person wakes up in the morning, puts on tefillin, that's just recharging his neshama. It keeps you connected all day. When you do a little action throughout the day, you say brachot, you say this, you say that, you're keeping yourself in the idea of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And one day, he wants you to run away from it as much as possible. So your itchabrut is Torah. Your connection with Hashem is Torah. So when a person gives up on that, what ends up happening? They end up losing their connection with Hashem. And what ends up happening? What happens to the person? If you lose the connection with Hashem, you just see the guy just going downward. You see this week's Parashat is going to talk about if a person doesn't listen to Hashem and doesn't go in his way, they list a few curses. Good? And it goes and lengthens the curses. But if you ask me, and this is I didn't see this inside, but if you ask me, they're not curses. And Hashem is not telling you, if you're going to do this, I'm going to do this. Hashem's telling you, if you're not going to do it, then this is not true what's going to happen to you. This is what's going to happen. If you're not going to be with Hashem, Hashem's not going to be with you. What's going to happen? Your enemies are going to rise up against you. Can you fight them? Impossible. If any anything you do at Hashem, impossible. Hashem is the one who gives you strength to do everything. So it's not that Hashem is telling you, if you're not going to do, you're getting cursed. Even that's how it sounds like. But it means, in essence, if you're not going to do, this is the ramifications of your actions. And this is it. This is the foundation. So if you're here right now, and you're hearing these words, every word of Torah, you're growing another level. Every single word of it. And you go home tonight, it changes who you are as a person. It changes who you are as a person. When you say bracha on food, and you eat kosher food, it changes who you are as a person. You want to know why the rabbis are so makpid on Shabbaton, you know? Why do people like to do Shabbatons? If anything, ask me, it's a lot of money. 120,000, 250,000. Now we try to do one time. We try to do Shabbaton. Me and a few guys, we try to set it up. You know how much money they wanted? Just the catering wanted $50,000. The hotel wanted another 30. And then bring the Chazan, it's another 10. Bring this, bring that. And everything, it's coming out $150,000. Shabbaton. Is it really worth it? Just come to Man Shabbat. We spend a few $100 on a barbecue. What is a person gaining when he goes to Shabbaton? You see, when you walk into Shabbaton, if you pay attention, look the first day, go around, talk to people. Nah, I only came over here because my friend forced me. Then on Sunday, you see the same guy with tzitzit and kippah. What happened? 48 hours, he's putting kosher food into his mouth. It's changing the person. He's eating kosher, it changes his neshama. I'll tell you guys a funny story. I don't know if I ever said it over here, but my old chavruta gives me permission. One time I was learning with my old chavruta. One day he comes in to tefillah. We're learning. I'm learning every day for 2 hours. Yes? Bear in mind, you're learning with me for 2 hours a day. Can you imagine what the person looks like he's learning with me 2 hours a day? I'm a driller, you know? And he comes to me 2 hours, I'm learning every single day. One day he comes in the morning, and he starts telling me, I don't know, if you ask me, this whole thing is like this, it's like that, it's just going. And I'm hearing the words coming out of his mouth, kfirah of heresy. I'm looking at the guy, I don't believe it. Right away, I looked at him, I said, what happened? He says, no, last night, I got into an argument with a guy. Which guy? This guy is a heretic, he's a non-believer. Atheist, quote unquote. And he started telling me X, Y, and Z, you see like this, you see like that, all these things. Now, I'm telling him, Yochanan, why are you arguing with him? You're not equipped to have an argument with him. Don't argue with the person, you're not equipped to have an argument with him, because then he's going to come to you, you think he has the time. 2 minutes, you bring him to me, I promise you. One time, a real story. I don't know if I told you guys over here. One time he told me there was a J for J. You know what J for J is? Jews for Yeshu. Okay? There was a J for J. She was talking to another person that comes to the shiurim. The person that comes to the shiurim, she calls me. She's like, I don't know if you have a minute, but this girl is non-stop harassing me, and I don't know what to answer her. I told her I'll get her somebody who's more equipped than me. Yeah? So maybe speak to her questions. I said, look, I'm very busy, this and that. But I said, you know what? Not for the J for J, not for her, because you're not changing her mind. But for the girl that called me, I don't want her to think that she has the right answers. So I said, okay, for you, I'm going to come. I came over there, 30 minutes. I put the other girl on the barbecue. Be'emet, mamash, on the barbecue. She left over there. Both of them in shock. They didn't believe what was going on over there. It was the funniest thing. Be'emet, b'shat d'shmaya. The way it played out, if I tell you, it was hilarious. She was telling me, I'll tell you guys, she's telling me, we don't go back. We only go up. Good? Meaning to say, if we're the Old Testimony, they're the New Testimony. So I told her, okay, I hear what you're saying. No problem. You don't go back before. So I'm okay, I hear Miss Farah, I hear what you're saying. Good? Then she slips up. She slips up, she tells me, and by the way, my pastor on Sunday used to be in Islamic, and he went to be Christian. So I told, didn't you just tell me 2 minutes ago you don't go back, you only go forward? Because Islam came later. Didn't you tell me 2 minutes ago you don't go back, you only go forward? Oh, all of a sudden she got rage, you don't understand. And that was only that, that was not even the argument. That was just how it came out. And that's like Baruch showing her stupidity. And then, I put on the barbecue to feel the things about this first page, second page, whatever. Long story short, not getting into it now. If you want later. But you see, a person who's equipped, 2 seconds puts him on the barbecue, kol tov v'yafeh. So I was talking to me about angels, archangels, this, that. There's archangels, open up the book, 1, 2, 3, it's done. Yeah? But if you're not equipped, so this guy, he went to argue with the guy. And he came back the next morning and he was a little bit down. You know what the first question I asked him? I said, Habibi, could it be the Einan kosher? All of a sudden you see the guy's turning face white. I said, what happened? He says, just yesterday, we talked about the salad and the tol'im and the bugs, right? So just yesterday, I like to eat lemongrass. Don't ask me why. Lemongrass. Then I dip in lemon juice and I eat it. So I dip it in and I eat it. So I told him, check it for tol'im, check it for bugs. He says, no. And what were we learning? Masechet Makod. Masechet Makod talks about what? Tol'im. It talks about the bugs inside the thing. He says, what happened? I dipped the lemongrass inside of the lemon water and a bug came out. And I said, Hashem, thank you. You mazakelti that it came out, that I didn't eat it. And I ate the rest of the lemongrass. He calls me that day. 24 hours later, he calls me, yo, no mami, I don't believe I was even talking the way that I was talking. How could it be that I said that things? Mamash, one little tiny thing. The more holy a person is, the more these little things are mashbi on him. When a person is already engulfed in impurity, all these things, Mama Frielo doesn't care, another sandwich, another KFC, another this, another that, Mama Frielo, because he's already all the way in there. But take a person who's already ta'ol, who's already holy, already worked on himself, and now you give him even the smallest thing, you see right away the impact. Right away you see the impact. Mamash ben Adam is kadosh. You're already holy as it is. And unfortunately, through the actions of a person, he can bring himself away from Hashem. And how does he get himself back? Torah. Torah rips off these klipot, destroys them, beats them up. Yeah? Destroys them, just the way I beat up Daguman's argument, the J for J. Yeah? Destroys them and beats them up and puts you and gets you back to where you are. Every word of Torah, whatever you eat, whatever you see, whatever you hear, all these things are mashpia directly in the neshama. So when you come to Shiur Torah and you hear Torah, you know, my brother one time said over about me. My brother's a rabbi in California, for those who don't know. So my brother gave a shiur one time, and he said about me, he says, you know what I think? He said this, I didn't say this. He said, you know what I think is the reason my brother became who he is today? He says, because from an early age, my brother was very medagdek, very meticulous about kashrut. Every little detail, I was so meticulous, I still am till today. Every little detail. My wife comes to tell me sometimes. I tell her, she takes the blueberries. I tell her, did you check the crowns on the top to see? Mamash. I sit there, I promise you, I check one blueberry, another blueberry, another blueberry, another blueberry. Mamash. I said, my wife was like, oh, come on, examta. We already agitated it 3 times in the soapy water. Just in case.
Slice them open.
Huh?
Slice them.
Yeah, I check the crown. That's what I do. That's my shita. Yeah? That's my shita.
Find worms in them all the time.
Oh. Man? Blueberries is a little bit problematic, but you can watch it. It's good. I love that. This is already, now you're talking yourself. It's already mashgiach, kashrut. I don't know. We're not going. We're not. Shitatcha, you know?
Or just as you're eating, check the crown.
So that's what I do. Either I check the crown, but the problem is, what if the kids want to eat? So what I do, we make a big batch. So we make a big batch. I check it. My wife puts it in the refrigerator, and then the kids eat. I throw out this, throw out that, whatever. The long story short is like this. The way a person is meticulous with these things, HaKadosh Baruch Hu pays him back midah keneged midah. Measure for measure. You're meticulous with me, so I'll be meticulous with you. All of a sudden you see you one blueberry, you have something going in your life, you have more success over there. Another sale, whatever it is. Another shiur, another Torah, another Rashi, another this. You see you have more kinyanim in your life, more acquisitions. Whether it be in Torah, whether it be in anything that has to do with the blessing in your life, you'll see you have more acquisitions. Why? Because the more you're meticulous with Hashem, and the things that He asks, is the more Hashem will be meticulous with you. And that's why it literally starts with Parashat. If you go in my ways, and you watch my mitzvot, I'll give you everything. And now she says, proving from this Torah Kohanim, that what's the thing that builds up a person? Torah. Has Bechukotai, what's it talking about? Torah. And what's Bechukotai tishmaru? And what does it mean when you watch my commandments, you should keep and observe my commandments? Says Rashi, that now we can understand the pasuk the way it's supposed to be written. If you're going to learn my Torah, you're going to go and you're going to labor and you're going to learn my Torah, only then can you get to the mitzvot and start to keep them. Why? Because a person who learns Torah, how should you learn Torah? When you're coming to learn right now in the Shiur Torah, what are you coming right now? Stop, I'm coming to learn. It's good. It's a very high level. What's an even higher level? I'm coming to learn in order so that I can do. I'm coming to learn so that way I can actually do some pe'ulot, some actions in my life. I can, something that makes me the happiest thing in the whole entire world is when after the shiur or before the shiur, like today, someone comes to me and tells me, last 2 weeks ago, a girl came up to me and told me, because of your shiurim, I started wearing only skirts. Not only wear skirts, long modern skirts. From your shiurim. For me, it's the best thing in the whole entire world, because you know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing that my words not just going, people taking in, going, but actually it's leading to something. I'm putting on tefillin, I'm doing like this. This is the most important thing. When you come to learn Torah, the condition should be in your mind. I'm not just coming to learn. I'm just coming to hear the words of faith. It's good. I'm coming to learn in order so that I can do. So I can go and implement it into my life. What am I changing on myself today? What am I growing? How am I getting to the next level? How am I going to get myself to the better place? I'm going to keep on talking about this in a moment. But we see on this similar topic that a person who learns, he thinks to himself, if I'm going to learn just to learn, I'm not going to actually do anything about it. And there's certain people in the world, and this is by the way you'll see, unfortunately in the world, who they learn Torah all day and they don't implement it. What do I mean don't implement it? The Torah refines a person. It makes a person refined, makes him a better human being. If you see a person dressed religiously and he's acting inappropriately, what does it teach you about him? He can learn all the Torah in the whole entire world, but he's not implementing it. One of the chalakim of Torah, one of the portions of the Torah is Musar. Is self-work, introspection, working on yourself, becoming a better person, emunah, bitachon, avodat Hashem, gas, anger, frustration, stress, anxiety, belief. All these things are part of your work in God. Working in God is not just doing the actions. Right? Hashem doesn't want you to be careful. He doesn't want you to go in an easy way. He wants everything to be in a well-rounded system. It's a well-oiled machine. That it doesn't just start with these actions. Yes, these actions lead you to be a better person. Torah, mitzvot, Shabbat, kashrut, every single one of them will lead you to become a better person. But you also need to say to yourself, how do I become a better person? How do I implement these things? So when you hear Torah, automatically it takes you up a level. But you have to start implementing those things in your life. You have to start thinking to yourself, just the other day, someone watched this. I don't remember exactly what happened, but somebody in front of another person, this did something to me disrespectful. It was like he laughed at me, whatever, I don't know what it was. And the other person came up to me and told me, if I was in your position, what would I would have done to this guy? I told him, if you think you're bad, come 10 years ago and see what I would have done if I was in my position 10 years ago. It would have been 10 times worse than your uwa. I said, but this is work. You're working yourself to the point where these things don't even bother you. You start to not see things, start being reactive to other people's, you talk to me not nice. Okay, big deal, who cares? I told you guys last week, the rabbi told me, if you care so much what other people think, then much more Hashem didn't give you the real problems in your life. Okay, if you had real problems, you never worry about other people telling you. Okay, he told you, okay, thank you, love you. You smiled, you feel good about yourself? Good, very nice. Good, I'm happy. I go home, I sleep the same way every single night. It doesn't make a difference to me. Some people, someone, God forbid, looks at them the wrong way, that whole night they can't sleep. They're going to be in bed tossing and turning. I can't get over it. He's trying to look at me the wrong way. I got to get him. His whole night he's sitting in bed plotting how he's going to go and get the guy. No, you didn't say, he looked at me, he gave me the side eye, this, that. I can't be running to those people. Ma korepo. What's going on with people? You're not sleeping at night. It's causing you so much trouble in your life. You can't sleep because the person looked at you the wrong way. This is a person who doesn't work on himself. When you work on yourself, you realize, look, we're all sitting over here, we're laughing at this guy. How is it possible? He's not here, but he's laughing at him. Why? Because you see, from the outside house, not much of a nonsense it really is. But how do you get to the place where you have to realize the nonsense in your life? You start working on yourself. You start refining yourself. You know, the Mishnah Pirkei Avot is the person who goes to learn in order to teach. They'll give him enough time to go and learn and teach. When we say teach, you should know, the Bartanura and Rashi explain different commentaries. We don't necessarily mean that he goes out to teach other people. We mean that he goes in order to teach himself. That he should learn. I'm sitting down all day learning Torah, so that's what I should learn. And there's another person who learns in order to do, al-manat la'asot. The Mishnah Pirkei Avot says, not only they let him learn, teach, but they also let him keep and do. If he learns in order to do for himself, they say, okay, we're not only let you learn it, we're not only going to give you enough time to learn it, we're also going to give you enough time to help, to teach other people, to also keep these things, and to also do them. All of these you'll get if you just start learning to do it, for actually doing it, for actually making it into action. Says the Bartanura, something pele. Look what the Bartanura says over here. It says, in order to explain this, therefore we have to say, what does it mean in order to learn? In order to teach? Not that he's coming to teach anybody, rather he's learning in order not to do anything with it, not to go and teach, not to do kindness to another person. Just I'm learning in order so that way I can learn for myself, to grow myself. Rashi says he's learning to become a rabbi. What does it mean to become a rabbi? That he's only learning for his own kavod. I'm learning for my own kavod. People are going to look up to me. This person is not going to have, Rashi writes, he's not going to have time to learn or to teach. What are you learning for? What are you shave for? What is your head at? What's your intention? What's your kavanah? What are you trying to reach? What's your goal? Says the Bhakta something even more pere. He says like this, however, a person who learns in order to do kindness, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives him enough time to learn and kindness. And he brings a Gemara Masechet Rosh Hashanah that says that Rava and Abaye, two Tanaim, they were from the house of Eli. That everyone from the house of Eli were cursed to die early. To die very early in their lives. Rava sat down his whole entire life learning. He lived until the age of 40. Abaya sat down his whole entire life learning and also doing chasadim, teaching and doing kindness to other people. He lived until 60. Says about to know why. That a person who learns in order to do for himself, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give him exactly the amount of time he needs for that. But a person who learns in order to do for other people, Hashem will I'll give you enough time to do for yourself and to do for others. So 40 years, that's 40 years of Torah you have to learn anyways. Guess what? I'm adding you 20 years for all the things you do for other people. You think a minute that you spend another person helping them, you're losing from your own time and your own life? I remember that at the beginning, when you're first getting strong, you have people in life that have a little bit of selfish tendencies. Well, it's my time, it's my this, it's my that. Now this guy needs my help, 3-4 hours, sit down on the phone with him. What's it going to help me? What's it going to help me? It's my time. You know, just the other day I was sitting on the phone and I was helping a person. And I promise you, kid you not, maybe in the last 3 weeks, maybe it's 40 hours of my time. Good? If a person needs, I'll give my time. Good? Why? Because anyways, it's not my time. So instead of living to 120, I live to 122. Okay? Long story short, I told him afterwards. I told him, you should know, what's the one thing that I am makpid, I'm strict about, that I'm meticulous about, more than any other thing in the world? He tells me what? I told him my time. I told him, what does that mean for you? That means if I'm helping you, that means that I know your potential. I know how much you need it, and I know that I'm willing to give it to you because I know where you can get up. And I tell him, so don't let me down. Now it's time for you to get up and do yourself. Now it's time for you to be the self more and go and get up and push yourself. If I gave you my time, that means you're worth my time. And if you're worth my time, that means you're worth your time. If you're worth your time, then start doing something about it. Because your time is valuable. And I said this, I wasn't going to talk about it, but I was just talking to Manny on the phone before. I said this over in the same of Rabbi Wallerstein. He said the story one time. I don't remember the exact details of the story, so I don't want to misphrase it. But he said one time, at 3 o'clock in the morning, he gets a phone call from a girl from one of his programs. Anyone who knows Rabbi Wallerstein, when he was still alive, he had a program that helped a lot of underprivileged women. The Jewish women get stronger and find their way back, and so on and so forth. Housing, rehab, so on and so on. Rabbi Wallerstein was a malach, as an angel.
Farm, yeah.
The farm. And he said one time at 3 o'clock in the morning, he gets a phone call from a girl who was a part of his group. She's going to the hospital and specifically asked for Rabbi Wallerstein to be there. So Rabbi Wallerstein tells himself, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm so tired now. She couldn't find anybody else. Abba, him, her father, someone, friend, specifically me. And I said, okay, what can I do? I have to go. So he gets up, he gets into that thing, and he's ready. 3 o'clock in the morning, barely got any sleep that night. And he goes into the ambulance, and he's thinking to himself, this is a bus. I can't believe, I'm over here now, 4 o'clock in the morning. And then he said to himself, I remember the exact date. He says, Hashem, says to himself, Rabbi Wallerstein, he says, Hashem decreed on you that you were going to be in an ambulance at 4 o'clock in the morning on November 2nd, at this day, at this time. But he didn't decree why. So God forbid, it could have been someone from your family. And instead of it being someone from your family, he gave you this chesed, that it's not someone from your family, you get to be there to help another person with their problems. Good? I'm going to tell you now what the Zohar Kadosh says. The Zohar Kadosh says that any time someone comes to you with a problem, and you help them with their problem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to give you that problem, and instead of giving it to you, he gave you another person to help him with that problem, so that way by suffering with them, you clean yourself of that problem. So that means that if you help a person who's trying to get divorced, that means that you yourself, Chas v'Shalom, are supposed to get divorced. Now you help them, you saved yourself and you saved them. If you help the person who was sick, that means you were supposed to get sick, you help them, now you save yourself as well. When you have an opportunity to help another person, you're never going to lose. First of all, your time you're not going to lose. We see this clearly from Gemara Masechet Rosh Hashanah. And next, you're not going to lose in your life because Hashem gave you this opportunity not to help you. It's not to help him, it's to help you. You know when a person comes to give you money, when you go to give a person money, some people in the world, the tipshim, how do they look at it? I'm giving this guy money. He owes me a thank you. You owe him a thank you. Fakir. Because by you giving him, you're keeping yourself as a giver and not a taking. You're becoming a person who's giving and not a person who's taking. Because the helper will never be the helpee until the helper stops being the helper. And then it becomes the helpee. What do I mean to say? That when you stop helping other people, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, look, I try to give you the opportunity to help yourself, but you didn't want to help yourself. Now I'm going to put you in a situation where other people need to help you. So when someone comes to you for help, you need to tell them thank you. Not the other way around. Not thank you so much. I don't want you to thank you. Thank you. You're saving me. I'm not saving you. And now you can understand what it is to do real kindness with a person. Because you realize you're not really doing kindness with him. He's doing kindness with you. And in turn, you're doing him a little bit of a kindness. What thank you do I need? I already got all the things I could get. That's the reality of the world. When a person learns Torah in order to just do for himself, Kosh Baruch Hu said, this is not why I created the world. I didn't create for the world for you to sit down in a corner and just learn Torah all day, 24/7, and not help anybody and not implement it into your life and not do anything. I created the Torah in order for you to learn it, in order to implement it into your life, because the Torah is the way of life. Torah is not just a book. Torah is the way of life. The Torah comes and teaches you how to live your life. And the work never ends. We can sit over here for 100 hours with 100,000 different Musar books and continue working on this every single day. There's one person who could learn one Musar book, one chapter in a Musar book, one chapter in a self-help book, in a self-growth book, self-improvement book, for the rest of his life and continue to work on that one character trait. Whether it be haughtiness, whether it be humility, whether it be bitachon, faith in God, trust in God, every single day you could read the same page about faith in God and still work on your faith in God. Because you'll never get to the place with 100%. You know how hard it is to get to a place where 100% emunah bitachon in Hashem? You know what it means to have 100% emunah, 100% faith in God? You understand what a high level that is, 100%? I'm telling you, a person which is 100% emunah bitachon in Hashem has to do zero ishadlut. Zero. You know what zero means? He has to literally do nothing. Because Hashem is going to give him everything. We see with the man, a person who was righteous, the man came to his door. All I do is open the door, the man was already sitting there waiting for him to take it. That's his money, that's his prosperity, that's his money. Right there on the floor, take it, he's ready to go. It's a very high level. But you can work on it for the rest of your life to reach those levels. Continue to work and to work and to work to reach those levels. But the work doesn't end. It could be forever. And that's just Torah. Torah says you have to constantly work on yourself. You know, I give a mashal, I give a parable. You know what this life is likened to? This life is like an escalator. But instead of going up and it's just taking you up, it's you going against the upper side of the escalator. So if I stop, where am I going? I'm going down. Remember when we were kids, we used to run up the other side of the escalator to get to the top? This is this life. What I'm going to say is a reverse escalator. And what are you doing? You're on the reverse escalator. If you stop moving, what happens? You go back. If you walk up slowly, you stay in the same place. And you want to get to the point, what's the highest level? You want to get to the point where you're walking at a pace where you can move up one level at a time. One step at a time, another step, another level, another level. So you're constantly moving, you're constantly growing. Not to jump. So the guy who think that they're crazy, he starts jumping 15, 20, 30 steps every time, 20 times. And what's going to end up happening? After 5 minutes, he's going to be... And then he has to go all the way back down to 35 steps because now he's spaced out. Now go back again. And his whole life will be the cycle. Trying to jump and never getting it. Trying to jump and never getting it. Pace yourself. Go slow and you'll make it there. You want to get to the place where you're doing one step at a time. If you're really good and you really have good stamina, meaning you already have a good spiritual level, 2 steps at a time, 2 steps at a time. But again, according to the situation, according to your life, according to your mitziyut, according to your reality. And this is what the Torah is coming to teach you. That when you do things in life, when you learn Torah in life, it's not just to learn it, to not do anything with it. It's so in order that you could become, can help another person. You know the story of the Chazon Ish? There was one rabbi at times with the Chazon Ish, who a friend of his came to him and told him, not a friend, a rabbi came to the Chazon Ish and he came to him and asked him, he said, Rabbi, I love to learn Torah. All day sit down and learn Torah. One time a friend of mine came and asked me to help him find a shidduch. I had to go and help him. It took me about 2 hours of time. He says, Rabbi, I'm worried. Bitul Torah. I'm wasting my Torah. I could have been learning 2 hours. And the Chazon Ish told him, this is exactly the opposite. All your Torah is only worth it for these 2 hours you helped another person. Because you can learn from today to tomorrow, but if you're not implementing it, if you're not doing something with it, you're not helping another person with it, then it's not worth it. I guess there's balance, of course. You have to have a good way of having to figure out how to also grow yourself and also grow other people at the same time. But it's a very, very important concept, and a person has to understand that. A person has to understand what the value of Torah is. Torah is one of the most valuable things in the whole entire world. One word of Torah can elevate the person on the highest level. And you know what? Not just you. It can elevate even the people around you, people, your friends, your family, and even, if God forbid, Chas v'Shalom, the people who passed away. There's a story in the Midrash, in Tana Deber Yahu Zuta. Over there, I give the story of Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan was walking around the way. I'm telling you now, this is a little bit of a mystical story, so hold on with me. He was walking along the way. He sees a guy collecting firewood. So Rabbi Yochanan tells the guy, what are you collecting firewood for? The guy doesn't answer him. So Rabbi Yochanan is sitting there waiting. All of a sudden, the guy looks at the rabbi and says, Rabbi, I'm not alive, I'm dead. Rabbi Yochanan tells him, what do you mean you're not alive, you're dead? What do you need the firewood though? I've never seen a dead person collecting firewood in my life. He tells him, I'll tell you. Me and my friend, one time we were doing a terrible sin. Terrible sin. And unfortunately, they brought us down to this place. And every day, I have to go out and collect wood. And whatever I bring back, they use to punish my friend. And then he goes out and gets wood, and whenever he brings back, he used to punish me. So Rabbi Yochanan tells him, so how are you going to get out of here? So this guy tells Rabbi Yochanan, when I left this world, I left my wife and she was pregnant. So I'm asking you, I'm beseeching you, that you go find my wife. When my son is born, take him to go sit down by the rabbi every single day. And when he's 5 years old, when he says, Baruch Hu et Hashem HaMevorach, when he says the words, blessed is God, the blessed, the holy, when he says these words, I'll be safe from here. Just these words of a child who's competent to understand the words you're saying is enough to save his father from this place. And you think that when you dedicate Shur Torah, Ilu Nishmat, or this or that, it's not doing anything in the upper realms? If Baruch Hu Adonai Mevorach, 3 words, bring up this person from this place, you don't think an hour shiur, what is it doing? Can you imagine? I heard stories, I don't remember from where, that there was such a person who was learning in regards to his father, his mother, whatever, until the neshama came down and told him, stop! He's like, too much. I'm ready. Like, I can't get it. Every time I get used to one level, you take me up another level. Relax, take a deep breath. I told you to live by my neshama. I didn't tell you express shipping. Mamash, exam. No, take a deep breath. Not every 2 minutes. Okay. Mamash, you understood what you could do for Saba, for Savta, for people who are not in this world. And Kol Sheken, Sheben Kol Sheken, and how much more so for people who are alive, for yourself, for the people around you. What Torah could do for the world. Hashem says over here, you want to just go through a few of the things that Kosh Baruch Hu says over here. And the promise that Hashem is going to give. You know what he says? By the way, we should look Look at Kadosh Baruch Hu is how amazing he is. There's a Gemara in Baba Batra. It says the attributes of Hashem are not like the attributes of human being. Why? Because when Hashem says in his parasha, if you go in my ways, I'll give you a blessing. How many blessings did they give them? 22. How do you know it was 22? Because it starts ve'im be'alef, and it starts kumemiyut with a taf. It ends with it starts with an aleph and taf, meaning to say Hashem blessed you from aleph at taf. You know what it means? With everything in the whole entire Torah. 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet. Hashem blessed with every single one of them. Every single one of them blessed you. And in the curses, it starts with a vav and ends with a mem. Only 8. Starts with a vav, only 8. When it comes to Moshe Rabbeinu, exactly the opposite. Moshe gave them 8 blessings and 22 curses. Kosh Baruch Hu is that much greater. Even Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu. There's no prophet ever greater than Moshe Rabbeinu. He's not as great as Hashem. Hashem says, I'll give you 22 for going with me. And then Mara lists every single one of them. 22 for going with me. And if God forbid, and like I told you before, natural causes, only be 8. But, mamash, you're looking at this, saying to yourself, and listen to this. Says Rabbeinu Bachye, he says, Midah keneged midah. You know why Hashem blesses you with every letter of the Hebrew alphabet, of Aleph Ataf? Because you use those letters to sanctify Him. How? By learning Torah, by going in His ways. You're using the Torah, the word of the Torah, the fundamental of the Torah, the things that make up the Torah, the letters, to sanctify God. Hashem uses them to sanctify you. Midah keneged midah. Good? So what are among the things that Kosh Baruch Hu says I'm going to give you? So first things first, rain. Now what's rain? Anyone over here learn Masechet Ta'anit? Masechet Ta'anit, in the first parak, Masechet Ta'anit talks about rain. It says, you know what rain is? Right in the first couple of dapim over there, it says rain is like money. The rain is the money. So Kosh Baruch Hu says, I'm going to give you the rain, be'ito. I'll give you your money in the right time. We talked about last week, what does it mean in the right time? Kosh Baruch Hu gives you everything you need when you need it. So if you go my ways, everything you need when you need it. And then he continues. You will eat and you'll be satiated. Now, that sounds to you like, okay, we all ate substation tonight, we're all satiated. Lo abhanti. Ma zachiti. What did I gain over here? You to be satiated. I mean, satiated every night, 3 times a day, and if I'm lucky for satiated. And it's the biggest blessing that Kosh Baruch Hu could ever give you is to be satiated. Tzaddik ochel lesova nafsho. A righteous person eats to the satiation of his neshama, of his soul. There's people in the world who run after material, money, women, this, cars, whatever it is, and they think they satiate them. But all those things never satiate the person. He eats and eats and eats and eats and eats and eats, and he never becomes satiated. He becomes it's in one of the, I forgot what it's called in English, but it's called gluttony. I forgot the name of the...
Gluttony.
No, but there's a whole list of... I forgot the name of them. Yeah? One of them is glutton. I don't know, anger, jealousy. There's like a list of... the bad attributes in English, I don't know what they're called. Yeah? One of them is called gluttony. The Mamash cannot stop eating. What does it mean he can't stop eating? All day you see him, he's chomping down chicken fingers? No. All day, he's chasing after the money, the cars, the women, the success, the honor, all the... And then what happens? Never full. He never becomes satiated. Kosh Baruch Hu says, when you eat and become satiated, what are you eating? You're not eating food. You're eating spirituality, ruchniyut. You're eating things and you feel satiated. You feel shalem. You know, a person could be a multi-millionaire and wake up in the morning and feel empty. One could be a multi-millionaire and wake up in the morning and feel empty. Because it has nothing to do with anything around you. Satiation comes from inside. Happiness comes from inside. Who's a happy person? Who's a rich person? A person who's happy with what he has. We see that happiness and richness and wealth go hand in hand. They have nothing to do with quantity. For you to be rich, you have to be happy. For you to be happy, happiness comes from inside. You cannot get it from outside. It can give you temporary happiness, but permanent happiness, lasting happiness, something that comes from internally. That's something that comes internally. And that's what I mean, eat and be satiated. Because Baruch Hu says, I'm going to give you a blessing that you're going to eat and your whole entire life you'll be satiated. You'll never wake up in the morning, you'll never be empty. You'll never sit in the nighttime having to have a phone or distraction because you're afraid to talk with yourself. You know how many people I see in the world that I talk to them and speak to them and say, oh, I can't keep Shabbat. Why can't you keep Shabbat? Because I cannot be without the TV. I cannot be without the phone. Why? Why can't you be without the TV? Why? No, I just like it. Why? Stop ignoring the problem. Why? Why can't you be without the TV? Why can't you be without the phone? And you talk to them and you make them answer the question and you know what they realize? That they're afraid to be alone. You know why they're afraid to be alone? Because there's a conflict between the neshama, the soul, and the body. So if they're by themselves, There's no real satiation inside. There's no real happiness inside. They're afraid to be with their own thoughts. Because they're not shalem, they're not complete. Rosh Baruch Hu says, you go in my ways, you get shlemut. You become complete. There's no more, I need my phone instructions. No! Give me the lights off in the bedroom with the AC on. I need your share. Don't give me, I don't want no phone. This is what you're shaking. When I get to the bed, it's the bed. That's it. Before I get home, 30 minutes before I go home, I call my wife, Mama, turn on the AC. Before I come home, the AC, I like the room, certain temperature, come in there, I'm out. No phone or TV. Why? No phone or TV. Why? Because when a person is mamash, truly satiated, when he's truly happy, and that's, by the way, what brought me to religion. What brought me to Rosh Baruch Hu is that everything else that I saw in my life, everything else, the money, the this, the fame, success, whatever it was that I had, none of it gave me any happiness, real happiness. I would wake up in the morning. I remember when I used to DJ, I did an event for 6,000 people, and you feel great in the moment. I woke up in the morning just as empty as the day before. And that's when I realized this is all fake. I said, okay, so what's real happiness? And then I found Hashem. And when I found Hashem, I found shlemut. I found completeness. I found satiation. I said, okay, this is it. This is truth. This is real. This is something real. Because as you eat and you become satiated. He says, peace in the land. He says in Sifra in Bechukotai, Ve'im en shalom en klum. If there's no peace, you have nothing. If you have no peace, you have nothing. You want an example? A person can have every dollar in the whole entire world, could be a multi-billionaire, yacht, private jet, everything in the entire world. His wife is upset with him. No peace in the house. Lo shavet dollar. Nothing is worth it. Not the money, not the jet ski, not the house, not the vacation, nothing. If his wife is at home upset with him, the guy's not functioning properly. En bracha, there's no nachat me any bracha, there's no enjoyment from any bracha or any blessing if there's no peace. Rosh Baruch Hu says, you want peace? Go my ways. You have peace, you have satiation, you have rain. And I'm only giving you a little bit. The Sifra also brings a pasuk in Yeshayahu that over there you see Oseh Shalom, Oseh Kol, that you see that Shalom is keneged hakol, that everything is standing on Shalom. That peace, everything stands on it. That without Shalom, nothing is worth it. And we'll finish over here. I'm not going to go through every single one of them because there's a lot, Baruch Hashem. Even though I wrote them down. And then it says something interesting. Parashat says, Ve'im lo tishmau. And if you're not going to listen to me, and you're not going to go, and then it lists in detail a few different klalot. So listen to this. Gemara Masechet Kiddushin asked a question. Wait a minute. 2 seconds ago you told me if I do in your way, I get everything. So what am I going to magically think naturally? If I don't do, then maybe I'll get punished. Or maybe I won't get. How come the Torah needed to go over the curses? It would have been enough. Tell me the blessings and I know that if I don't do it, I don't get the blessings. Says the Gemara Masechet Kiddushin, because you would have thought that by not doing, the only thing you would miss out is all these blessings. Okay, I got to be normal. Says in order to teach you, I have to tell you the curses if you don't do. If you don't do this, what's going to happen to you? Now, why is that so important? Because this holds a lot of weight to everything a person does in his entire life. Just today, I was telling you about it earlier, there was a guy that I was talking to. And the ramifications of this is that in life, you're always going to be faced with two opportunities in your life. The easy way and the hard way. And you're always going to be naturally inclined to go to the easy way. It looks easy, this is not less amount of work, I don't have to do a lot. And therefore, if I don't go the hard way, okay, I don't have to lose. I'll go the easy way. And today I'm talking with a guy, and we started talking about the commandment from the Torah to watch over yourself, right? You have to watch over your body. The Rambam says it's a mitzvah deoraita for a person to watch over himself, even to do a little bit of exercise is good, to exert himself. And we're talking about this, and it happened to be there was a guy over there who was a little bit overweight. Good? And he comes over there and he starts talking. He says, you know what? I'm just going to do the surgery. So with surgery, the surgery where they do the whole 9 yards. Good? So I telling him, why are you going to do surgery? Just get more active. Eat a little bit healthier. Cut out the rice, cut out the bread, cut out the potatoes. Start eating a little bit healthier. Start walking. I told him, take out your phone right now. He takes out his phone, put on the iPhone, he goes, we go to the health app. So how many steps are you averaging a day? How many steps are you averaging a day? How many steps? 1,000 steps. I told him, Busha v'chirpa, you get 1,000 steps? I put on my phone, 9,000, 10,000. To educate $1,000 steps a day? What are you doing? Sitting down all day? What do you transfer from the car from the thing to the wheelchair? Why אחי? ברוך השם יפה לגליים אחי. וואו, כמה זה 1,000 steps per day אחי. I want to give you also on the phone. Today the phone message is the biggest mistake I can ever have. Go to the phone, put on watch the screen time. See how much time you spend on the every week on average in a day. If it's over 5 hours, you have some serious things to work on. And my mom, one time I gave a shiur on the guy pulled out, he looked at his phone 8 hours. I don't see you 8 hours. I came back a month later, he goes, Rabbi, look, 5 hours. I said, look, I said. How much the phone gives you today, all the musal you need. Tells you how long you have the phone, how many steps you take. I told him, go, be more active. I started telling him all the good things. You're going to be more active. Your thermic effect of the body is going to grow. You're going to burn more calories. Your BMI is going to go down, so on and so forth.
4,000 is good enough.
Yeah? I always tell people, you want to be healthy, 10,000 steps a day is a good number, and it'll keep you healthy for the rest of your life. Good? I don't know about who could tell me they don't have time for a 30 minutes little stroll, put on shiur Torah, go for a walk around the block, 30 minutes. Every day I go for a walk. If I have a phone call, let's say for example, somebody needs me to talk to them on the phone, I have a business phone call, I have to call someone and help them, right away, put on the headphones, I step outside of my house, I just go for a walk, 30 minutes with the phone call. So let me sit down on my, no, I get up and I go and I walk, and actually, it's very clear to the mind. Sometimes when I get writer's block for shiurim, once I'm stuck, I'm like, oh, what am I going to talk about tonight? I get up.
Just take a shower.
No, I get up. I go walk outside. I go walk, put on a shiur Torah over here, whatever, something like that. No music, but shiur Torah. And I go, and I walk. And all of a sudden now the juice started flowing. All of a sudden I'm writing down all the notes, and come home, I'm ready, 5-10 minutes of walking. It clears the mind. It's just for mental, it's very good. Very healthy for you. I start telling him all the benefits. What's going to happen if he starts eating healthier? I start telling him all the good things. He's going to start being more active. He's going to spend time with his family. He's going to go with his kids for walks. And he's going to be this and that. All the beautiful things I started telling him. I'm not giving up on rice. I love to eat food. I love the rice. I love the potatoes. I love the dish. You don't want to give up. So I'm just going to go and get the surgery. And that's it. I'll be good. Then, and this is where I think the answer lies. I told him, you should know. Actually, I know someone personally, real story. I know someone personally who did the surgery. Until today, they're suffering with health problems from the surgery. Until today, they cursed the day they got the surgery. And at that moment, he said, oh, really? Okay, maybe I'll reconsider maybe I should start walking. How many steps a day you should say? What did I say?
20,000.
This, how many steps did I do? Oh, okay. So when I told you all the blessings, what'd you hear? As soon as I told you one curse, one negative ramification of this one action that you're going to do, the easy way became not so easy. So I told you, when you come look at the Torah, what do you see? Bechukotai tilechu. Like going on Hashem's way, it seems like it's the hard way. And what's the easy way? Not to go on Hashem's ways. It's easy. Shabbat now, kosher, this, that. I want to go on vacation. Why is it easy? Easy. And you think the easiness is going to give you good? So I tell you, here's what's going to happen to you if you go the easy way. But if you take the hard way, and if you take the way, it's going to make you work on yourself a little bit more, over there you'll succeed. That's a principle for everyone in their life. Everyone in their life will be faced with this decision. Whether it be in business, whether it be in friendship, whether it be in marriage. You know how people call me, first years? They just got married. 8 months into the marriage, they call me, Rabbi, it's not working out. I think I want to get divorced. I want to get this. I want to get that. So what, the first fight, you guys already want to jump ship? First fight, you guys already want to jump ship? Makarapo. I told you know what the problem is? You. So what did I do? I said, you're lazy. I said, why are you lazy? So you think the easy way is to get divorced? You think the easy way is to get divorced? I said, you want to know a secret? You want to know a secret to happy marriage? I said, this is the secret to happy marriage. When you get married, you tell yourself in your mind, divorce is not an option. You two are on a ship right now in the middle of the ocean. You want to jump? You'll die. It's okay, jump. But you're not going anywhere. So force yourself to sit down on this boat and make it work. Communicate with each other, talk, and make it work. Make it work. Doesn't take a lot. Make it work. Just talk, communication, speak to each other. I have a whole class on it. If you want to go to YouTube, you go find over there how to have happy marriage. Go. If you want a second version, we can make even an updated version. Marriage is not so difficult to have a happy marriage. But it takes work.
People want easy.
Exactly. That's the problem. People want easy. Today we live in the world of easy. But easy is not good. Easy is not good for you. Comfortability is the enemy of progress. The more comfortable you are, the more you're not growing. It's in those uncomfortable moments that you start to grow. Kosh Baruch Hu is telling you very simply, and this is it. Go in my ways, even though they look like they're the hard way, they're really the easy way. Because when you see what you're going to get from it, then you see how easy it is. But if you think that going not in my ways is the easy way, let me tell you what will come to you because of that. And then all of a sudden a person can understand. What did you say? How many steps I have to do today? What I have to do? Torah gave you everything. Very simple. I'll bless you with everything. All you have to do is one thing. Just go in my ways. And you'll gain everything. You'll gain peace, satiation, life, happiness, shlemut. All from one thing, Torah. Torah mitzvot. You do Torah mitzvot, you start working on yourself, you start growing, slowly like the escalator, moving one step at a time, growing. All you see yourself is becoming a better person. Every day you're becoming a better person, becoming more refined. That's exactly what the Torah does. It refines a person. So by being here, first of all, you being here is already refining you. Now it's for you to take the second step, which is start implementing it into your life. We all be zocher to learn, to do, to teach, and to לעשות. Thank you. Amen.